Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. Moving in the same direction and doing it united, then the movement forward is always so much more powerful.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... there, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I am so happy tonight, folks, this morning. The Trump administration says the free ride is over. As far as food stamps go, the SNAP program, if you're an American, you're elderly, etc., I'm all for it. You receiving food stamps. But if you're able-bodied, join the rest of us, get up off your backside and do something. Another reason why I'm happy, President Trump all but told Ilhan Omar where she can stick it, and that she is not welcomed in this country. But we began, of course, in Tennessee this morning. Republican Matt Van Eps defeats, if you will, the AOC of Tennessee in a close congressional special election. Yes, Republican Matt Van Eps narrowly won in a district that Trump won by 22 points in this hotly contested special election for Tennessee's 7th District House seat. A win is a win. Democrats had hoped for an upset in this conservative stronghold. And this is how it was covered on TV tonight on Hannity.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. The AP has now called the special congressional election in Tennessee for Republican Matt Van Eps, a major win for House Republicans. President Trump just posted on Truth Social, congratulations to Matt Van Eps on his big congressional win in the great state of Tennessee. The radical left, Democrats, they threw everything they had at him, including millions of dollars. Another great night for the Republican Party.
Absolutely. So another story I'm going to deal with this hour, and this is why I am a Republican. Republicans trying to set up generational wealth, if you will, for all American children. The White House signing off and launching the sign up for Trump accounts, offering $1,000 saving funds for kids. Oh, Dominic, that's not much money. You add it up for one's upbringing, and if they are somewhat conservative and keep the money there, when it's all said and done, they can end up with several $100,000. Way to go, Trump administration. We'll get back to that in just a moment. But President Trump, and I love the guy because he doesn't hide how he feels. And come on, folks, we all feel this way about Ilhan Omar. The lady is a drain on our society in Congress. President Trump all but telling Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman, where she can stick it, and that she is not welcomed in this country. President Trump here at his best.
You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Amen, Mr. President. Can you imagine, folks, Biden being so blunt and telling the truth? I don't think so. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. The phone lines are open right now. As I mentioned at the top of the show, one of the reasons why I'm happy, the USDA Secretary, Brooke Rollins, is not joking around. This came out of the government shutdown. Democrats had no idea what they were about to bargain for, but here we are now. And so she's moving to stop federal funding to states who refuse to turn over SNAP information to help root out fraud. Listen to the secretary here.
We had a couple of people receiving benefits in 6 states. In February of this year, we asked for all the states for the first time to turn over their data to the federal government to let the USDA partner with them to root out this fraud, to make sure that those who really need food stamps are getting them, but also to ensure that the American taxpayer is protected. 21 states said yes, not surprised. 29 states said yes, not surprisingly, the red states, and that's where all of that data, that fraud comes from. But 21 states, including California, New York, and Minnesota, the blue states, continue to say no. So as of next week, we have begun and will begin to stop moving federal funds into those states until they comply and they tell us and allow us to partner with them to root out this fraud and to protect the American taxpayer. As Joe Biden was working to buy an election a year ago, he increased food stamp program funding by 40%. So now as we continue to roll that back. So
there you have it from the secretary, and good for the Trump administration. If blue states don't want to comply by supplying the information, shut it down. Yes, I'm saying that against my home state of New York. You don't get to just decide what information you're going to turn over and what you're not going to give to the federal government. Let's begin with your telephone calls. Line 1, Judith in Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Judith?
I couldn't resist. The lady is a tramp. Ilhan Omar, okay? She marries her brother, Muslim, marries her brother to get in here. Then she has some other husband, some Muslim guy with 3 sons. Then I find out she's got some other husband that lives in England, ex-husband. Then she has a marital adultery affair with a married man. She's married for 7 months. Then they both divorce their whatever. And then she marries this new guy who was her right-hand man or something. She's a total tramp. If she go back in Somalia, they would have stoned her in 2 seconds flat. I don't know why she wears this hijab. She's such a fake, phony fraud. All right? She's a tramp. Lady's a tramp. That's it. Couldn't resist, Dominic.
No. You know what, Judith? To be candid and honest with you, I needed a woman to say exactly what you just said, because it's a little unshaky ground for me to do it. But you just told the truth. I mean, she's going through relationships and she's holier than thou and all of this nonsense, and she is a phony. So how do you think this plays out, Judith, in terms of Ilhan Omar? I mean, obviously she's going to use the president's words to raise money, but do you think she'll finally get the hint and realize that she might end up, I don't know, might, I'm praying, end up being deported?
I would love it. God only knows. But you know something? I wouldn't be surprised if she's got something to do with the fraud stuff going on with all these Somalians over there. And she's bringing them in, you know, these congresswomen, Rashid, what's her name, Rashid Tlaib, whatever. Mm-hmm. They've been bringing people in because they have the power. They're congresswomen. No one stands up against them. God knows what they've been doing here and invading our country with these people that don't want to. And they had
Governor Dum Dum in Minnesota to go along with the plot, a wink, wink, and a nod, nod. It's utterly disgusting. Judith, thank you for the wonderful call. Judith on point. The lady is a tramp. That's Judith's words. talking about Ilhan Omar. Let's go to line 3. Roger in Massachusetts. Good morning, Roger. What's on your mind?
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me okay, Dominic?
Loud and clear. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. 15 years ago, this is regarding the SNAP benefits fraud. Massachusetts had major scandals around 2010 about they were finding that people were, quote-unquote, losing their SNAP cards and applying for new ones. I think the record was like 49 or 149 times with one gentleman, with the theory most likely being that they go into a store, sell the card for half its value, and then go and buy their liquor and so on and so forth. This was going on. This went on for the reporting of this went on for at least a couple of months straight, and then it's been we haven't heard a peep about it since. But it was a big deal up in Massachusetts.
Well, not just Roger, not just Massachusetts. Here in New York, up until when they just came out with these new cards, it was one of the biggest scams going. What people would do, as a matter of fact, I've seen it done. Is they stand outside the supermarket, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, hey. You want to save $100, $200, and this is the way the scam went. You give me 50 cents on the dollar of what my food stamp card, they had like so much money in terms of benefits. So if you sell me, for example, $300 worth of food stamps, you pay the person $150 cash, and then they go into the store with you and swipe the card, no problem. So not just Massachusetts. This was happening everywhere, Roger. You have the final word before I move on.
All right. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Roger. Let's see here. Let's go to John, line 2, Staten Island. John, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. So regarding that race in Tennessee, here is a rule of thumb for politicians on what not to do, and that is to tell the voters that they hate the city that they're from and the culture of that city and a chance to win votes.
But wait a minute, John. I agree with you, but this is worked around all around the country. It's the Democrat message these days. It basically worked for AOC and others, pointing out like you're against the establishment. Go ahead.
Didn't Mom Donnie do the same thing?
Yes, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't remember AOC saying she hates New York.
She did it via her actions after she was already elected, running Amazon out of New York. That may have been the biggest disaster that the city still has not recovered from. Can you imagine, John? Let's say you and I, we owned a mom and pop store in Long Island City, and we heard that Amazon was coming. And this meant that after years of struggling, you and I could be millionaires within a matter of 2 years, right? With all the business that was coming in. And the Congress member says, nope, this is horrible for New York. You know those jobs you're going to give people in the projects? Nope. We don't want you, Amazon. Can you imagine how we would feel, John, if we went from nothing to thinking we were about to be millionaires and our Congress member threw it all out the window?
I mean, as much as I'd like to support small businesses as they deserve our hard-earned money, I think Amazon makes more money than small businesses anyway.
Yeah, but that's not the point, John. John, come on, man. I got to take a break. That's not the point. You and I, you're never going to make as much as Amazon does. You and I own a mom and pop store. We're struggling for years, and within a matter of 2 years, we're going to be millionaires. Do you think I care what Amazon is making, or do you think I care that you and I are finally in the game? It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Let's go back to the telephone calls. Let's go to line 3, Kate in Boston. Good morning, Kate. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. I'd like to talk about the SNAP programs.
Okay.
I have experience with food stamps. I was the oldest of 6. I'll just go real quick. And my mom used to go to town hall and get cheese and macaroni and bread and milk.
Wow.
If my dad would just be laid off. That was how it was done. And then he would go back to work and we'd get back on our feet. And then when I was a young single mom, I had the kind of food stamps you would stand there and you had to rip off the paper bill.
Right, almost like a cash currency.
Right. And you had it there and they were right in your booklet and you ripped them. You had to take them out of the booklet at the register. And I remember being embarrassed by that, I have to admit. But, you know, I didn't stay there. I worked hard and I went on and I raised my kids and they went to college and they're so successful. Because I had a rough start for a while as a single mom, my Social Security isn't a lot, but I'm very grateful for it. And I found myself going back to work as what they call a personal shopper in our grocery stores. So people go online and order their groceries, then we shop them. And then they either go out with a DoorDash or a third party or they pick them up. Well, I've never seen this world. I went to the manager of the store and I said, where do we report this fraud? I would get normal orders all the time, and I feel I get to know people by what they order and what they eat and how selective they are. And then you get an EBT order, and it's over 100 pieces, and it's the coconut shrimp and the Wagyu beef and the Haagen-Dazs ice cream and the glass bottled Starbucks, and you have to pack it all up. And that's when I went to the management and I said, where are we recording this? How do we report this? Oh, no. Oh, it was me that was wrong. I was wrong. And just put right in my place. But it's a fact.
Kate, let me say this because I have to toss to a break. If you could hold on, it's going to be a few minutes. I would really love for you to hold on because I find what you just said, the entire statement, remarkable. And I'd like to follow up on it if you can try to hold for a few minutes. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
This holiday, give the gift that says, let's cancel plans and just lounge. MeUndies has dropped their new holiday collection, and it's made for maximum cozy. We're talking soft as snow, ultra-modal fabric, festive prints, and loungewear so comfy, your couch might get jealous. Onesies, hoodies, joggers, even delightfully quirky holiday designs. You're welcome. Knock out all your holiday gifting needs with deals up to 60% off at MeUndies.com/Spotify. Enter promo code Spotify. That's MeUndies.com/Spotify, code Spotify.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I am looking at my Twitter, at my ex, at Dominic TV. Hank W. says, at Dominic TV, these days, no one should be wearing headphones while walking. Need to hear your surroundings. Absolutely, Hank. Unfortunately, this is the times that we live in. So I want to go back to Kate in Boston. So Kate, I wanted you to hold because, and thank you for doing so, because there are a few things that I want to say to you. You said that first, you said you were embarrassed as a child. In my day, it was called the government cheese and so on. You're not the only one. You said your family, when your dad wasn't doing well, your family this is what you had to resort to in order to survive. You're not the only one. My family went through the same thing. There are lots of American families that went through that. I greatly respect what you had to say because a term that the kids would use, Kate, and you're calling from Boston, there was no shame in your game. As a single parent, as you just pointed out, you did what you had to do for your kids to survive. You wasn't proud of it. You said you were embarrassed. I think many of us felt that way. But you did what you had to do, and I am very proud of you for doing so. Now, to the other point that you made, and I didn't even go there, Kate. I'm glad that you did. You said that you're a senior citizen and that you shop. You went back to work and you shop once people order their food, Amazon, whatever, for the grocery store. And Kate, that's one of the biggest scandals out. I just want to say these two things, and I'm going right back to you. I can't tell you why, but, and I don't know if I should just say people in the hood, but when it's the government money, it can never be good enough. Filet mignon, whatever's at the supermarket, top line product on everything. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. You're on food stamps. I'm sorry. What in the world are you doing buying Haagen-Dazs ice cream or whatever else? If it's coming out of your pocket, you do what you want. Now, so it's got to be frustrating, Kate, to have to pack these items. And you're right. It is borderline fraud. Maybe we should take out the word borderline. But these supermarkets are not going to do anything because they're making millions, Kate. So you had to go back to work in order to make ends meet?
Yes. Well, to pay my taxes.
Wow.
I live in Massachusetts. I wasn't making it, so this is the job I took in order to pay my taxes. And then when I got there, then firsthand, I've been on the very front lines of this. I started this job last May.
And so you actually have to, while you're struggling and in your golden years, had to go back to work for a bunch of freeloaders, you have to pack their food items.
They're extraordinary food. And I have to see the other people that make difficult choices.
So you see the extreme on each side.
I do, and it's very upsetting. And I'll tell you, after I went to management, and it was very much upsetting me, you do the EBT orders, then I took it upon myself this Thanksgiving when I had some of the orders that were people just getting by and paying their own way to slip a little chocolates into their bags, which I know is stealing, but it's not as bad as the other stealing.
Technically it's stealing. Technically it could cost you your job. But I call it Americans looking out for Americans. As you just pointed out, these people are struggling. And, Kate, I wanted you to hold on as well.
Getting stuff for Thanksgiving even.
Well, I wanted you to hold because you illustrate the point that I love to make of each one teach one. So you struggled, but you made darn sure that your kids did better and they went on to college, correct?
Correct.
Well, that makes you an absolute hero in my book. And I want you to try not to get upset.
I love your work ethic.
Oh, well, thank you.
To you in the
thank you. But my work ethic,
evening.
Honestly, Kate, my work ethic comes from the owners of this network. I could never keep up with their schedules. And I try my best, but I just can't. Margot and John Katsimatidis, I have never met anybody in my entire life that works as hard as either one of them. And these are billionaires.
I know.
And you see Mrs. Katsimatidis around the station every day. She's involved in 18 things. I don't know how she can keep the memory to do all of these things. So, for example,
and with their grandson too.
Yes, with their grandson
wonderful.
And their kids are following in their tradition. This Saturday morning, for example. And this is real talk, Kate, and I want to bring Pat into the conversation in just a second, so stay with me. Pat's calling from New Jersey, and Pat says she identifies with you. And I know you don't know her, but I want to bring her into the conversation. And so this Saturday, just coming up this Saturday, right? And again, Kate, this is real talk. Billionaires. And like I've said before, if Mr. Katsimatidis decided to run now for mayor of New York City, he would be elected. Because he could go into every community in New York. Saturday morning, 9 a.m., without a police detail, I don't want to talk about their personal security. That's not my place to do so. So I don't want to put information out there. But they will be arriving everywhere. At the PAL in Harlem for kids, all types of kids, but primarily kids that look like me, and giving these kids gifts. And you can tell when something's real, when someone's doing it from the heart. And they do this every year from the heart, Kate. So I want you to stand by and just stay with me live. Pat in New Jersey, you're in Boston. Pat in New Jersey says she identifies with you, Kate. So, Pat, Kate is on the other line. What do you have to say?
All right, thank you. I identify in two ways, Dominic and Kate. When I was a child in school, I couldn't wait to go to school. No matter the day, the weather, it didn't matter because I knew when I got to school, if there was a student absent, that's the first place I'd look and see who was absent because I knew the teacher would give me that person's milk because I didn't have the heart to ask my parents for, maybe it was 4 cents in a container of milk. And then as life went on, I made sure that it was going to be a learning experience, and I did fairly well. And my husband, he's deceased now, but he worked for the first ESOP company in the Northeast area. And what happened was they were going bankrupt, and we bought into it. We all had to take cuts of pay. I think if you're understanding what I'm saying. And I remember it was the medical that was needed. And I had to go to the office and get assistance. I was so humiliated of having to be on the system that to go shopping, I would go as far out of town as I could that nobody would recognize me. Because I just had too much dignity about myself. It was needed, but it hurts.
Pat, I hear you, and I sympathize with what you're saying, but I need you to really understand that we all of us fall down in life. The question is, do you get back up? And you got back up. Kate got back up.
And I vowed, and I managed to put my children through parochial school, and I vowed that they were never going to have that struggle of a lifestyle I had as a child.
Kate, listening to Pat, similar situation that each of you just described. How do you feel listening to Pat live right now?
Well, I'm very grateful that we were both in America and that there were programs and things that could help us get back on our feet, and that safety net was there. And I just think it's so sad that everybody's just taking advantage of it and taking and stealing and figuring out the ways to get around it, because that's not the American way to try to get more.
And if I may interject, Kay, I made sure my children knew that when they were up at night, I was up. When they went to bed, I was still up. When they got up in the morning, I was up. And they went to school. There was no food stamps always for me. However, they didn't go to school hungry.
So, Pat,
Yes.
I do want to ask you this, Pat, then I'm going to let you go. I want Kate to stay with me for a second. So this is the story that I hear countless times, that the kids, there was something to eat for the kids. So are you telling me that at times there wasn't something for you to eat while you sacrificed to make sure your kids ate?
Not often.
Okay.
My mother had done that, but not often. This is not very pleasant, but as I said, when I was a child, sometimes my breakfast was broken up bread in a bowl with some sugar on it with some milk. And I was grateful. My mother, as I said, I didn't think my mother slept. She was up when I went to sleep at night. She was up when I got up in the morning and did the best she could with what she had. And it worked. And I did the same thing, no matter how difficult the circumstances were. Took a little work making from scratch. But they had a meal before they went to school. The school didn't feed my children.
Pat, thank you for adding so much to the conversation. Kate, I want you to stay with me. Line 5, Ted in Brooklyn says that I have it all wrong. Stay with me, Kate. Says I have it all wrong about food stamps. So, Ted, Kate is still with us live. Tell me what I have all wrong.
Well, I'm not saying you're all wrong, Dominic, but what I'm saying to you is very simple. The idea is you're telling people they shouldn't buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream, or they shouldn't buy this or shouldn't buy that. Well, who are you to tell people what to buy and what not to buy? When you get that food stamp allotment every month, you can buy what you want anytime.
Ted, are you serious?
The point is, people are not buying three boxes of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. They're buying one or this or that.
Ted, are you serious?
Ted is
yes,
entitled.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Did you hear what Kate? Did you hear what Kate just said? Did you hear what Kate? Wait! Stop talking so much.
You can't restrict people.
Stop talking so much, please. Did you hear what Kate just said?
No,
so you're talking so much, I don't even think you're listening.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kate said you're entitled. Is that correct, Kate?
I did.
You're what?
Entitled.
Yes.
I cannot believe that you just called up here and we're talking, these two women have just poured their hearts out, and you're talking about, oh, who are you to tell people not to buy Haagen-Dazs? Well, why do you have to buy top-of-the-line ice cream when taxpayers are paying for it, Ted?
The taxpayers are paying for it. You're paying for it, too. Every time you buy something, you're paying 8.5%.
Okay, you're a nut job.
Dominic is done with you.
Kate, lose, Ted. Ted, don't waste my time, please. Kate, you have and I'm sorry the conversation is ending this way. You have to listen to that nut. What's the final point that you want to make, Kate?
I think that's a predominant attitude. And I don't think they should be able to carry large balances either. But I would be all ready to talk to anybody about how to reform it, especially with this late in life knowledge. But I started listening to this station because I love to hear the sound of New York, because my mom grew up in Malvern and my grandpa was a reporter for the Long Island Press. And during COVID, I loved to hear the New York voices. And now I'm just hooked. I know you all.
Well, Kate, let me just say this to you because I've got to toss to a break here. You hang in there. You hang in there, and
it's good. My life is good. I didn't mean to complain.
No, you were not complaining. You were not complaining. I am just trying to state that I need you to understand that you are an absolute rock star, and I'm looking up to you with such admiration for what you did to get your kids to their college degree, and the fact that you've gone back to work while we got to watch migrants, and thank God President Trump is shutting it down. Kate, thank you so much. Kate calling this morning from Boston. You take care of yourself, Kate. I want to hear from you in the future about your experiences in the supermarket. Kate in Boston, thank you so much. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit Marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
It's 7v7 soccer. Smaller the pitch, faster the action. The world's elite soccer clubs compete for their share of a massive $5 million prize. Catch World Sevens on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max December 5th through the 7th.
From writer-director Ryan Johnson.
The Holy Grail. A perfectly impossible crime.
Wake Up Dead Man has critics singing its praises.
God help me. Anything else?
It's a deliciously entertaining mystery.
That's nice.
It's certified fresh.
It's a miracle.
Okay, you're freaking me out now.
It's the best Knives Out movie yet.
This case is solvable, right?
Oh, you'll see. It's fun.
Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery starring Daniel Craig. Now playing in select theaters on Netflix December 12th. Rated PG-13.
From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I am looking at my Twitter and Helen Burrell. Helen, I know that the issue of food stamps, you are extremely sensitive to the issue. I get it. I would say it's one of your top issues. But you're dead wrong on your response, and I'm about to tell you why. So, and I say this with respect to you, Helen, and I've seen the banter back and forth where you get into it with people over food stamps, and your position, whether you realize it or not, Helen, is you come off as a bleeding heart liberal when it comes to food stamps. So Helen says here, Dominic, way wrong, and then she capitalizes, judging people buying some dessert with their food. You're telling me because you're poor, crippled, or elderly and need help buying food, then she capitalizes, you're not allowed to ever have some dessert? That is downright cruel. Ladies should stop judging others. Most on SNAP paid taxes before SNAP. Okay, so let's go piece by piece, Helen. Number one, that's not true that most on SNAP paid taxes before SNAP. You have people, generational dependency. You have people that will time their pregnancies so that they don't have to go on workfare for their food stamps or benefits. That's simply not true. I'm telling you, Helen, what I know for a fact. Helen, I don't talk for the sake of talking. I know people. I've seen it done where they go into the supermarket on the government dime and intentionally buy the most expensive products that they can find intentionally. Now, Helen, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show. And again, I understand that you are extremely sensitive when it comes to food stamps. If you heard me at the top of the show, I said if you're elderly and you need food stamps, then I'm all for it. I said at the top of the show that if you're able-bodied, get up off your ass and do something. I didn't say the word ASS, but that's how I feel. And yes, Helen, if you're on the government dime, and I use Haagen-Dazs ice cream as an example, why can't you get the store brand? Why do you have to get top of the line simply because the government is paying for it? That's wrong. People that are, now you, I know, Helen, I can tell you pay your taxes. But Helen, you got your facts wrong. You got these kids out here that are just collecting. You got able-bodied men that basically have never paid a dime in taxes collecting food stamps. So I don't know where you're getting your facts from. Your facts are all wrong. Let's go to John, line 5, Long Island. What's on your mind, John?
Hey, Dominic, I'll make this quick for the shield's sake. Years ago, I heard on the radio Mayor Ed Koch talk about this. It's a very exact topic. And the one thing he said is stuck in my mind is, I don't mind helping people out, but I don't want to get ripped off. And that's where I stand with that lady in Boston. God bless her. I'm honored to share taxes with a lady like that who's got a conscience and a heart. And yet she made a productive family with the resource for us.
Absolutely.
I'm not a socialist, but you know what? It's okay to help people out. But these liberals out there, they sell it as a lifestyle to make them dependent on it. And that's the tragedy of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave with this note.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make one note. In regards to John Catsimatidis, when you want something done, you give it to a busy person. And that's why John Catsimatidis, who he is, and so is Donald Trump. These guys are workers. My father did business with John Catsimatidis, and my father's the same way. These guys are workhorses. They don't stop.
They don't
keep
stop.
on going.
They don't stop, John. Thank you for the call. The greatest gift that I've been given by Margot Catsimatidis and John Catsimatidis is work ethic. I thought that I was a hard worker until I met them. They have taught me that you go, that you push, and you push. Joe, line 2, New Jersey. Joe, you got 20 seconds.
Yeah, you're right, Dominic. You can't buy top of the line because your stamps get blown out in a week. It's not frugal to do that. You got to be humble.
But these are people, Joe, that they're in this position because they don't know how to be frugal. They don't know how to balance a budget. They've never balanced a budget. And therein lies the problem, Joe.
You're right.
Joe, thank you for the call. Helen, again, no disrespect to you. I know you've paid taxes, and I understand that you're extremely sensitive on the food stamp issue, but it is what it is. Folks, I'm back at 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.